Hello, guys. I'm going to be talking today about Alana Fairchild's Kali Oracle. I have heard so many people talk about this deck, and I think most of them don't use it because they think it's some cultural misappropriation. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on this. And I feel that coming from an Indian background, also from a community and family that is a that's an ardent devotee of Makali. We've grown up with Makali's essence. I have grown up personally in a family that believes in Makali a lot, and I have visited so many temples of Makali, and I have been always in the presence of that energy. I just wanted to share my views on that. Let's talk about the guidebook. It's a 44 card deck, mass market, published by Blue Angel, and it has got a meaty, chunky guidebook. This guidebook, I've read most of the guidebook, and I really think it is well researched. It has references to Kali Puran, it has the right stories, mythology is in place. I learned a few things, many things from this deck, and I feel that this is spot on. Lovely. I think I like everything that Alana Fairchild makes. That's because her decks are rooted in a divine, grounding energy that is true to the essence of what is being, uh, trying to, what she's trying to convey. However, when it comes to, also there are pronunciations in this guidebook that I find is really helpful and they're correct. So there's no problem there. You can use the pronunciations given in this guidebook to chant the mantras that are given in this. This artwork is what supposedly I have grown up with Bhadrakali being chanted everywhere in my family, and this is not the depiction. This is not how we see Ma Kali. The erotic undertone in this uh, pictures is not a problem. You see, it's highly sexualized, perfectly toned bodies. Very few Indians have this kind of a body. This is not a mainstream Indian body, first of all. Secondly, Makali is not associated in any way in an erotic sense. I know there's Tantra, I know there is black magic that's associated with Makali, but nowhere is there such a depiction that I see in this deck. This is not how we relate to. This is not the Arth of Kali. Arth is the physical aspect, and Arth of Kali is not this. Okay, this, I'm not very mad at it, but I just felt like, why? Why did they have to do this? This looks like out of some kind of a magazine, if you know what I mean. And that could be very disrespectful to certain people who worship Ma Kali in genuine sense, who do not use cartomancy, but there are other ways, and they're devotees of Ma Kali. And I think this could actually infuriate a few percentage of people. I think there are certain, there are two Dakshin Kali, I think it's a card, and Kali Tantrika. This could actually work because this is very close to how in Puranas they are depicted. Ancient old Hindu texts, you can see these kind of images. So I think that could have made a much more sense for this. I really don't know why this was done. I love Jimmy Manton's work, so I have no idea why this was done. Such well-researched guidebook definitely deserved a much more researched artwork. I think that would have made a whole lot of a difference. Because of this artwork, I never put this mostly on my altar because I don't kind of relate to this. I have used this deck in times of transitions, in times of trying to make sense of what's going on in tower moments. And I have found it to be very accurate and very loving, fiercely present. I have also always seen Makali being portrayed as in a unidimensional way. Fierce godmother. That's not the only part of Makali. I wouldn't go to everything in depth in this video. I would probably do future videos on that. But I do not understand this. But I do feel it's a good deck in terms of dark feminine. It's a good deck in times of transition, in times when you want a fierce, loving, compassionate presence around you. Can definitely be incorporated, uh, only for the guidebook and the rituals in this. However, those rituals are not at all how Hindus do the rituals around Ma Kali or any other goddess or pantheon. I can totally be okay forgiving of that because I can always devise my own rituals. And also, those rituals are really good starting point in ritual work. So I don't have any kind of, um, you know, I can still forgive that. But I don't think I can work with this, you know, in terms of how it's depicted. That being said, I wouldn't at all ever deter anybody from working with this deck, buying this deck, because I really truly feel that if Makali did not want this, it would not have manifested in physical world. In some way, maybe this is how it could, this was the only way it could be brought forth. And that's why I respect the vision of the creator. Um, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about it. Can definitely be incorporated in your practice, but it is not the genuine, most truest essence of Makali. But if this has worked for you, if this has been the presence for you, I think the purpose is complete. And I wouldn't nitpick on this aspect of this deck. But for everyone who had um, some reservations about how this deck actually fits in and if it's really a cultural misappropriation, then yeah, this was my video and this was my opinion on this. And feel free to let me know your um, opinions on this, and I would love to, if you have any questions, I can even answer them. It was so good to finally make this video, and I feel so light and I feel so happy that this was my first video on this channel and I get to talk about Ma Kali's everlasting blessings. So yeah, that was it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or evening or night, and take care of yourself. Until the next video, thank you and bye.